Okay, hello. We will now be finishing our discussion on the statement of comprehensive income. We are now on the presentation of the comprehensive income. Okay, so an entity has two options of presenting comprehensive income. Namely is two statements and the single statement of comprehensive income. Yung two statements is isa-separate natin ang income statement or yung record ay yung presentation natin for the profit or loss. Tapos, and yung statement of comprehensive income na beginning with the profit or loss tapos i-adjust lang natin or ipa-plus or minus yung other comprehensive income or yung OCI. So basically, we will separate yung profit or loss and yung OCI. While yung single statement is we will combine the two. So yung profit or loss is combined with the OCI to form a single statement. Okay, so here we have the sources of income. First is we have the sales of merchandise to customers. So ito yung binebenta natin na inventory natin. The sales returns, allowances, and discounts shall be deducted from gross sales to arrive at net sales. Okay, so yung gross sales kasi, ito yung gross amount na binebenta natin. Right? So kung ano yung binenta natin, this is the gross sales. Yung sales returns, ito yung mga sinuli ng mga customers natin for various reasons. One reason is baka defective ang binenta natin, so sinuli nila. So these are the sales returns. So yung allowances, ito yung allowance natin for sales returns and discounts. So yung ini-expect natin na isusoli ng mga customers natin based on our previous operations, and yung mga discounts na yung discounts na binibigay natin sa mga customers natin. So all of these, kung ano man yung amount ng mga nito, is we deduct it from the gross sales in order to get the net sales. So net sales is yung na-deduct na ang mga allowances and yung mga returns and discounts. Okay? Next source of income is yung rendering of services. So, yun nga, kapag ang business natin is a service type of business, kapag nag-render na ang service, this is considered as income, whether or not we collect money or we collect cash. So examples are professional fees, professional fees, media advertising commissions, yung mga ganun. So mga commissions. Next is use of entity resources. Okay, so ito yung mga pinaparenta natin, yung mga ganun. This income category includes the interest. Okay, kung nagpautang tayo, tapos yung pinautang natin is nag-generate ng interest sa pinautangan natin. So yung binabayarang interest ng pinautangan natin, this is the interest income. Next is rent. Of course, yung renta. This is also a source of income. Royalty. Royalty is yung meron kang for example is singer ka, tapos yung DVD is being sold by a third party, tapos depende sa amount na nabenta, meron kang share, that is the royalty. And last is the dividend income. Dividend income naman is kapag bumili ka ng stocks ng isang company, so in essence is you will be investing in the company. Tapos yung company na yun is it will be giving out dividends. So yung dividend na yun na marireceive natin is dividend income. Next, disposal of resources other than products. So, ito naman yung mga binebenta natin aside from yung mga merchandise natin. Okay, example is yung sales of mga investments natin kapag binenta natin, yung mga property, yung mga equipment, yung mga ganun. So, kapag binenta natin at nagkaroon tayo ng gain, that is an income, right? Ganun mo. Okay, next is we have the components of expenses. First, we have the cost of goods sold or yung cost of sales, right? So, this is the in connection with the sales of merchandise, right? Siyempre, kapag nagbenta tayo ng merchandise, ano yung cost niya, right? So, ano yung cost of sales, right? So, here we have the two ways in computing for the cost of goods sold, either for the merchandising concern or yung manufacturing concern, right? So, under the merchandising concern, meaning we are only buying and selling our merchandise. So, first we have the beginning inventory. Okay, ano yung inventory natin at the beginning of the year. So, ano yung stock natin? Kung meron man tayo, ano yung worth niya. Next is we add yung purchases kung mga binili nating merchandise. So, kapag in-add mo yung dalawang yun, you get yung goods available for sale. So, ito yung amount na pwede mong ibenta for the whole year. Next is we deduct yung ending inventory. Okay, kapag yung ending inventory, yung inventory na nasa atin at the end of the year. Okay, yung after tayo nagbenta. So, kapag dineduct mo yun, yung pwede mong ibenta tapos yung natirang inventory, you will get yung amount na binenta mo or yung cost of goods sold. Okay? Here, ito yung computation for your purchases, right? So, yung amount na binili mo, ito yung computation. First is yung gross purchases. Ito yung gross amount na binili mo without deducting yung mga sinuli mo, yung mga discounts, yung mga ganun. So, this is the gross amount. Then we add yung freight in or yung amount na yung shipping natin, yung binayaran natin for shipping. This is yung freight in. And of course, we deduct yung yung sinuli natin or purchase returns and allowances and discounts, right? Katulad ng sales, pero we are in the point of view of the buyer. So, after deducting, we will now get the net purchases. Okay, here we have the computation for the cost of goods sold ng manufacturing concern. So, ito yung yung create from raw materials ng sarili nilang products. So, of course, we begin with the raw materials at the beginning of the year. So, kung ano yung amount ng raw materials, kung wood ba to, kung steel, yung mga ganon. Basta raw materials, yung amount nito at the beginning of the year, we start with that. Tapos, we add yung mga net purchases, right? Yung net purchases is the same as yung computation dito. We will deduct yung mga purchase returns, yung mga allowances, yung mga discounts. So, we add yung mga binili nating raw materials. Tapos, we will now get the raw materials available for use. Okay, ito na yung pwede natin gamitin raw material for the whole year. Next is we deduct yung ending raw materials or yung natira sa ating raw materials at the end of the year. And after deducting, we will be left with yung ginamit natin or yung raw materials used. we add yung direct labor, yung labor, of course, yung, ano ba, labor, yung, work, yung binayaran natin for physical work, right? Yung mga nag-assemble, yung mga ganon, those are yung direct labor. Yeah. Tapos we add yung factory overhead. Factory overhead, yung mga indirect na mga materials, yung mga indirect na mga direct labor, mga ganon. Yung mga indirect expenses na nagamit para ma-manufacture ang product. Right? Example of factory overhead, yung mga nails na ginamit natin, ang mga pako. Of course, hindi naman direct material yon, or hindi naman yun yung raw material natin, pero ginamit natin, right, for the product. It's just that it is indirectly or miscellaneous na lang yun. So, that is a factory overhead. We'll be left with total manufacturing cost, o kung yung ginasto natin for the manufacturing. We add yung beginning goods in process, yung mga in process na at the beginning of the year na hindi pa natapos. Total cost of goods in process ang makuha natin, and we deduct the ending goods in process, or at the end of the year, ano pa yung amount na in process or hindi pa natapos. And we will be left with cost of goods manufactured, or yung amount na nagawa natin for the year, right? Kung yung amount ng mga inventory na ginawa natin. We add yung beginning finished goods. Beginning finished goods is, of course, yung na-finish na at the beginning of the year, yung mga pwede nang ibenta. We will be left with goods available for sale, or yung mga pwedeng ibenta for the whole year. Deduct yung ending finished goods, or at the end of the year, ano yung amount na hindi na ibenta, right? So, we will be left with yung cost of goods sold. So yun, those are the two methods in computing for the cost of goods sold under the merchandising and the manufacturing concern. Okay? Will now be, next is yung X component of expense is yung distribution cost or selling expense. So, yung mga amount na gasto natin for delivering na yung mga binebenta natin. Right? Next is administrative expense. Okay, alam naman natin ang mga administrative. Next is other expenses, and last is yung income tax expense. Okay, yung babayaran natin for tax. Here we have the classification of expenses. We have the distribution, administrative, and other expenses. Okay? Yung distribution costs, these are the directly related sa mga selling, advertising, and delivery goods. Okay? Sa directly related sa pagbebenta natin, it is a distribution cost or selling cost. A distribution cost includes the salesman's salaries, yung mga salaries ng mga nagbebenta, salesman's commissions, yung commissions nila, traveling and marketing expense, yung ginagamit nila for traveling, tapos yung ginagamit natin for marketing, tapos advertising and publicity, of course, yung advertising natin, yung mga baka for example is yung newspaper advertising, ganun, yung mga posters, Mga ganun yung mga advertising. Baka patalastas sa radyo, patalastas sa TV, those are all advertising. Freight out, yung shipping for delivering to customers. And last is depreciation of delivery equipment and store equipment. Okay? So, alam naman natin ang depreciation. That's just connected to the delivery equipment and store equipment. Okay? So, this yung delivery equipment and store equipment kasi it is used directly in the selling. Right? It is not used for making the product, but it is used for selling the product. So, it is under the distribution expenses or distribution cost. Next is administrative expenses, which constitute the cost of administering the business. Administrative expenses ordinarily include all operating expense not related to selling and cost of goods sold, right? So kapag hindi na related sa pagbebenta at hindi rin related sa paggawa, it is already an administrative expense. These are the doubtful accounts. Ito yung mga receivable natin na we expect na hindi natin mako-collect based on previous operations, right? Office salaries, ito yung mga salaries ng yung mga employees natin na hindi connected sa selling at hindi connected sa making the inventory. Next is expenses of general executive. Expenses ng general accounting and credit department. Yung mga office supplies na related sa mga office salaries ay sa mga offices in the administrative. Certain taxes, of course, kapag ang tax is related sa kapag hindi related sa selling and cost of goods sold, it is in the administrative. Contribution, professional fees, depreciation of office building and office equipment. Okay, please take note. Kapag yung depreciation kasi is related yung sa asset. So, kapag office building and office equipment, it is used primarily for the administrative purposes, right? So, dahil administrative purposes ang mga ito, yung depreciation nila is under the administrative expense. Pero yung delivery equipment and store equipment, dahil these are connected to the distributing or making or selling the products, yung depreciation nito is under distribution cost, right? Likewise, yung mga depreciation naman ng mga equipment na connected with the making of yung product or buying of the product, yung mga ganon, these are under the cost of goods sold kasi it is connected with making the product. So, it is under cost of goods sold primarily in the factory overhead. Okay? Ito na yung factory overhead. Kasi ang depreciation kasi is indirectly na tumutulong sa paggawa ng product, right? So, it is a factory overhead. And last, yung mga other expenses are those expenses which are not directly related to the selling and administrative function. Okay, so we have the loss on sale of trading investments, loss on disposal of property, plant, and equipment, loss on sale of non-current investments, and casualty loss like for the floods, earthquakes, and fires. Okay, so those are the expenses. Under PS1, it specifically mandates that an entity shall not present any items of income and expense as extraordinary items, either on the face of the income statement or the comprehensive income or in the notes. Okay, so wala nang extraordinary items. So, under PS1 again, the comprehensive income shall include the following line items. First is we have the revenues, okay? Yung mga na-discuss dito. These are yung mga revenues, yung mga sales, rendering of services, use of, itong dalawa, these are yung revenues. Okay, tapos, gain and loss from the recognition of financial assets are measured at amortized cost as required by PRS 9. So, kapag ang financial asset is hindi na na-recognize as such, yung gain or loss from the recognizing it will be represented in the comprehensive income. Yung mga finance costs, share in income or loss of associate and joint venture accounted for using the equity method. So if we are connected to the if we are connected in a joint venture or an associate of a business, any income or loss associated with these investments are presented separately. Next is the income tax expense. Yung binayaran natin for income, single amount comprising discontinued operations. Kapag meron tayong specific part of our business na na-discontinue na natin, yung amount, yung gains or losses for this specific amount, for this specific operation will be presented. Yung profit or loss for the period. Okay? Tapos, total other comprehensive income. Ito na yung OCI. Tapos, comprehensive income for the period being the total of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Okay, so ang profit is profit or loss. It is computed by adding or deducting all of these. Tapos, if profit or loss plus or minus yung OCI, it will be the comprehensive income. So, these are yung mga record disclosures or yung mga ilalagay natin on the notes to FS. First is the profit or loss for the period attributable to the non-controlling interest and owners of the parents. Next is the total comprehensive income for the period attributable to non-controlling interest and owners of the parent. So yun, those are yung mga disclosures. So yes, this will end with our discussion on the statement of comprehensive income. So yes, that will be all.